welcome to my North Knit Corner. My name is Anne and I come to you from the south of Norway. Here I live with my husband, our 3 boys, and our little Jack Russell Terrier called Mokka. Welcome if you have been here before, and welcome if you're here for the first time. Here I talk about knitting because I love knitting, and if you love knitting and yarn as much as I do, I hope you have found your craft of choice, maybe something good to drink, and are ready to chat a little while with me. I have some finished objects to share, and I have some new things cast on, which I am excited to share with you. So before we start, I just want to say that I have information about everything I talk about in the description box below this episode, and I have timestamps on this episode so you can skip the things you want to skip, maybe this intro. And yeah, it's easy for you to skip back and forth as you please. But let's just start to talk about what I have finished since the last episode. I was almost done talking about all of my FOs when I realized that I never hit record, so I have to talk about this all over again. So yeah, let's just see how this goes. I have hit record, I have checked several times, so I'm good. This is the feather blouse that I'm wearing, and it's a FO since my last episode. It's a pattern by Yeon Hwa Lee, and this was kindly gifted to me from one of my knitting friends for Christmas. I've knitted this in yarn that I have frogged. I talked about it in my last episode. I knitted a balloon sweater in 2022, and I wasn't quite happy with it, so I frogged it. Then I knitted another balloon sweater in the same yarn, wasn't happy with it, so I frogged it again. And the last time I frogged this was at Christmas 2024, and then I decided that this yarn didn't want to be a balloon sweater, so I left it in my stash, and I have waited for a project to use it for, and I decided that that must be a perfect yarn for this feather blouse, and I am very happy with that choice. The yarn is knitting for olive merino and knitting for olive thin or knitting for olive silk mohair. I don't have the color number since it's several years since I knitted this, and I didn't have my yarn in Ravelry then like I have now, so I have no idea what color this is, but a grayish blue, I think, kind of something like that. I also used Drops Kid Silk in the color 1 for the lace, which also was some leftovers from another project. And I've knitted size 2 on needles 3.5 and 4 millimeters, US 4 and 6. And you can choose to knit sleeves like I have done, short sleeves or long sleeves, or you can even have ruffles, which is really cute. But I have knitted a few things with ruffles, and I never wear them. I think I don't know how to style them. I don't know. I don't feel like ruffles is my thing, so I didn't do it. But I'm very happy with the short sleeve version that I've got. It's also a double folded collar. You knit it top down, and it's really, really beautiful lace, which was so much fun to knit. And then, of course, a lot of stockinette, which is always nice for watching TV and bringing along with me when I was doing something where I wanted to bring my knitting. You also have this beautiful, I think it's really nice, these stripes. I'm not going to tell you how to do it because it's not just a stripe. And it's also on the sleeve and also on the bottom here before the hem. But I will put in B-roll for you so you can see how it looks when I'm standing up, because it's not always so easy to see how it is on when I'm just sitting here. It weighs 215 grams and it feels really nice to have used up this, almost used up this frogged yarn. And I'm not going to frog it again, I promise. I did start a Bainbridge beanie by Michelle Fresetta in this yarn before I decided to knit this, and I showed it last time, but I have frogged it because I wouldn't have enough for the hat, and I also needed a little bit more for this. So I have a little bit left of the yarn, but yeah, not enough for a hat. So I will knit that hat in another yarn. But really happy with this blouse. I have another FO as well, which is a garment, and that's the Villa Vest by Anna Daku. Here it is. I knitted this in Rauma Fivel, which I bought at Rauma Mill last year, so that was a lot of fun. It's the 402 Dark Marl Petrol, and I have knitted the size 2 on needles 5mm needles US 8. You need to knit this flat. It's knitted bottom up, so two of the things I don't like. But actually it wasn't a problem with this one, because you see that it's a lot of garter knitting, and the only purling you need to do is when you're on the wrong side of this cable, the stitches here. That's the only time you need to purl. So it went by pretty fast, and I really enjoyed knitting this, and I wasn't really sure about that since it was both bottom up and flat knitting, but I really had fun knitting this, and it's so easy to learn and memorize these cable looking stitches. You don't need a cable needle, so yeah, it was very fun to knit. I really enjoyed it a lot, and I just see that I've done something wrong here. That's annoying. I always see the mistakes when I podcast. Why do I do that? Look at this. I have knitted, I've purled where I was supposed to do garter. Look at this. Can I show it to you? Oh, I don't know if you can see it. That was really difficult. Maybe I can take a picture for you. Yeah, there. You see it? Oh, that's annoying. Why didn't I see that before? I hope it's on the back. Yeah, I think it's on the back. Oh, that's so annoying. That's so sad. Well, I can't, it's all the way down here and I can't rip all that back. Do you have a solution for me? How can I make this not look strange? Can I do something? Can I sew something over so it looks like I have purled? Oh, I am really happy with this, except for my mistake. Anyway, that let's just leave that behind us for now and continue talking about this. It weighs 299 grams, and what's strange is that I bought 12 balls of yarn for this and I only used 6, and I don't know why. I was standing in the mill looking at the pattern, trying to decide how much yarn I needed. I was of course a little bit stressed because I was there only 20 minutes before they were closing. My boys were in the car because Rømamill is a long way from here. It's in the middle of Norway, and I live in the south, so you can imagine we were on vacation and they were tired of driving, so I was a little bit stressed. So maybe that's why I managed to buy double the amount that I needed for this. I don't know. So I need to figure out what I'm going to use those 6 balls of yarn for. It's enough for another vest. Maybe I should knit another one since I did a mistake. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if I need another vest in the same color, but I want to use the yarn for something. So if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. I did see a movie the other day, and the main character had on this very nice slipover. It was a short slipover vest, and she had it over a long white blouse, and it had V-neck, very thick V-neck. It had some cables on there. It had this argyle pattern, but with yarn overs or with holes to make the argyle pattern, and it was really, really nice. I really liked it. So I did take a screenshot of that vest. I tried to find something similar on Ravelry, but I couldn't find anything, so I could try and recreate it myself, but I'm not very patient and I'm not a designer, so I really like to follow patterns, not make them, but maybe I should try. I really like that vest, and then maybe I can use the yarn for that. It was in a similar color as this actually, so yeah, I have to see. And of course that will be 2 very different types of vests, because this is very big, oversized, comfy, cozy, like a hug, and the other one was really tight and short, cropped. Yeah, I have to think about that. But yeah, I really like this vest, but I'm sad about my mistake. That was really annoying. So if you have a way for me to figure that out, please let me know how I can fix it. But oh well, I don't really think anyone is going to see that if they don't look very closely, because it's a dark yarn and it's garter stitch all around it, but now that's all I can see. Anyway, I highly recommend the pattern. I haven't talked any. I got so what it's called. Yeah, the mistake really threw me off. I had to seam this, of course, because you knit it flat, and I tried to seam with the mattress stitch, which I know how to do, but I don't seam very often, and I'm not really happy with how it's looking. But I tried my best, and it's no big deal really. I could have done better, I think, but it's okay. But then I watched a tutorial because I wanted to see if there was a better way for me to sew together, and on the sides of the front and back piece there are slipped stitches to make a nice edge. So I looked at a tutorial called something like sew in slipped stitches or something like that, from 10 rows a day. It was a great tutorial. I can link it below, and I think it looks nice. That was a lot better than my shoulder seams. Of course you get this seam, but yeah, I think it's okay. So I'm happy with that, at least. And then of course high color. I can't remember if I talked about that now or when I talked to you and I didn't record, so I'm sorry if I forget something, but it's just, you can just ask me if you miss some information you want. So that is my villa vest. I felt like that was a long very messy talk about the Velo vest, but yeah, it is what it is. But it's very nice, and I'm very happy to start to wear it. Then I have some socks, the Basic Bed Socks by Emily Bolduan. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It has 3 sizes. I knitted the size 2, I believe, for a size foot EU 38. I knit on 3.25mm needles, US 3. The yarn is from a Norwegian, or the self-striping yarn is from a Norwegian hand dyer called CTE Garn in her thick sock base, which is a DK weight yarn. The color is called Psychedelic. And I also used Sannes Perfect in this black. It's $10.99 and it weighs 87 grams. It's my pair number 3 for 2026. It's a toe-up sock, and I really liked knitting toe-up. I haven't done it a lot. I've done it a couple times before, and both times I knitted this pattern. I think the reason I knit so much cuff down is just because most of the patterns that or all of the patterns that I've been knitting, except for this, has been cuff down. So I like both toe up and cuff down. It really doesn't matter to me. I know there's people who loves cuff down and it's people who loves toe up. I think I'm neutral. I'm in the middle. So I like them both. I used the Turkish cast on for the toe. I think the Judy's Magic cast on is in the pattern, but I just used the Turkish cast on because it's very easy. You just hold your 2 needles together and you wrap the yarn around, and then you, as many times as you need for it to get enough stitches, and then you just start to knit. And I think it makes a very nice beginning on the toe. And then it's a German short row heel, and yeah, really nice. I really liked to knit this pair. And I did say they weighed 87 grams, I think, and I still have a fair bit of this self-striping yarn left, so I can knit another pair, or at least a pair, just a shorter leg on it. I can just have a long contrasting cuff or something. So happy with these. They are very nice and they are going in my gift basket. Then I was contacted by a Norwegian podcaster. She has a knitting podcast in Norwegian and she is called Mona. She asked me if I wanted to test knit a sock pattern that she had written, and of course I said yes, because I'm knitting socks and I love to try out patterns. This is the Konfetti socks. And it looks like cables, but it's not, but on the cuff. Very cute. And then the pattern is what we call in Norwegian, we call it dog tooth pattern. I'm not sure if it's the same in English. And I knitted with Filcolana Avetta in the color 977 Marzipan. And together with a yarn, BFL sock yarn from a sock set called Apple Blossom from a dyer that I always struggle to say this name, but I will do it one last time because now the yarn is almost used up. The rest is going into a scrap blanket, but it's Karlsen yarns, something like that. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, or I know I am. But it was a beautiful sock set that I got in a Christmas swap with my friend Claudia a couple of years ago now. I think I want to say 2024. So now I finally used the rest of it in this sock, which I'm really happy about. The fun thing with this sock, I think, is the heel. You do it with stripes. And you make it with, you start with one stitch and then you increase out. And then you continue knitting around and around, which I really liked, because when you do the heel flapping gusset, you do it back and forth, and then you have to continue knitting in the round and decreasing and everything after. But I really like that you increase the heel and then you decrease for this heel flap, I want to say, under here, and then you just continue around for the rest of the foot. And then it's also a striped toe, which you of course could just do one color if you wanted, but I really liked the striping. So this is a really fun sock. I hope she will make a pattern that she releases of this. I know it's her first pattern, so it's really exciting. I don't think it will come in English, but maybe. It's a very easy pattern, so I think it would really be easy to translate it. But it was, yeah, very, very fun socks. I used 59 grams for these. The confetti socks are my pair number 4 for this year. Then I have knitted another square in the square relay. If you haven't been here before, the square relay is a collaboration between a lot of knitting podcasters in Norway. We each make a square, and every month there's a new square to be knitted. A square, we make a square pattern. And then you can knit a new square every month. Everyone can participate. It's a free pattern on Ravelry every month, and then there's knit along. And this month is Monica Karlsen, which is a Norwegian podcaster, and her square is called Huskestua Square. Huskestua in English is something like the memory room, maybe? Yeah, the memory room, maybe. Yeah, something like that, if I translate straight from Norwegian. That's the name of Monica's podcast. So she called her square the same. Really fun little square to knit. I knit in Rauma Finull because I'm going to make a blanket out of all of the squares, and it is the number 473 light header, and I always knit on 3.5mm needles. Is US 4, I believe, and it weighs 20 grams. So I'm starting to get a really big stack of squares. We've been doing this for almost 2 years now. So I haven't had my square yet, but I have a square pattern ready. So hopefully it will be my turn very soon. I'm excited for that. Let's talk about some whips. I've cast on a few new things that you haven't seen before. The first one is a sweater. I have a plan that I want to knit sweaters for my 2 oldest and my husband for Christmas this year. So I have started really early. I am knitting a sweater that is fairly thick, on thick needles, so it goes by really fast to knit them, but I feel like it would be great to just finish them before the summer. If I can do that, all 3 sweaters, that would be great. So that's my plan. Yeah. This is the Frostskog sweater by Vivian Aas. It's only in Norwegian, sadly, but she also had the Christmas sweater that I knitted for myself last year, called the Sørbø sweater, which looks quite like this, but in a thinner yarn. This is Aran weight, but my sweater was knitted in Rauma Finull, which is DK weight. So that is in English if you want to look at that. This is the Frostskog sweater, yes, here it is. Let me take these away. So I am far on this already. It goes by very fast. I have knitted this in Rauma Vams, which is the color 1, Nature, this white, and then I have moss green here. If you can see that color, I don't know. And the main color is grain blue, is number 82. The moss green is 466. I've knitted size 3 on 5 and 6 millimeter needles, US 8 and 10. And it's a very easy color work, but very fun. This is a top-down sweater, and you knit it with raglan. I think it's the first time I've knitted a color work sweater with the raglan. Really like it. I need to keep my tongue straight in the mouth. I don't know if you have that saying in English, but in Norwegian we say we have to keep our tongue straight in the mouth to really concentrate when you knit the German short rows, and you do increases for the raglan, and you knit color work back and forth for a while. When you do the German short rows, I really had to concentrate. Yeah, so I think that's, even though the color work was really easy, then doing the raglan, not even on every round, you really have to pay attention, and also how to fit that into the pattern. But I think I managed to do it quite well, and since I'm going to knit this sweater 2 more times, I will really get the hang of it in the end, I think. I'm a little bit afraid that this is a little bit small, but I'm not sure, because I have measured some of my, this is for my oldest son, who's 19, and he's really thin. So I just measured on one of his sweaters, so it should fit him, but I just feel like it looks so small. Yeah, but he's not very, he is a thin long boy, so maybe it will be nice, or it will fit him. Yeah, I hope so. If not, I just have to knit 4 sweaters instead. So at least I know I have to make bigger for my husband and for my 17-year-old son. So if you have any ideas of what colors I can make for my other 2 boys, my husband and my middle son, please let me know if you have a few yarn combinations for me. I really like this combination with the blue, but I really want all of them to be different colors, so I'm not really sure. Of course I can use white for the trees on all of them and just change the other colors, but I'm not sure what I should choose. So let me know if you have any ideas for my next. This is soon done. It goes by really fast. So then I want to buy yarn for the next one. And the great thing is that I can buy yarn and know that it's for a Christmas present. So it's great. It doesn't feel that bad to buy yarn when it is for a present. I don't know. So excited to have a Christmas present on my needles, and I'm soon done with that one. I have another Christmas present on my needles. It's a pair of mittens. It's for my mother-in-law, and my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, they are big camper van enthusiasts, and there's this mitten called Bobil Mittens or camper van mittens by Janne Wie. Janne Wie is also a Norwegian knitting podcaster. She has a podcast together with another lady, and they also sometimes podcast in English. Then I have another Christmas present on the needles. I have this Bobil Mittens or camper van mittens that I'm going to make for Christmas, a Christmas gift. The pattern is from Janne Wie. She also have a knitting podcast together with another lady. They sometimes podcast in English as well, so highly recommend the podcast. I can link it below for you. They knit so many beautiful things and are so productive, so I highly recommend you take a look. Yeah, the camper van mittens, here they are. See if it wants to focus. Here you see the camper van. And I'm knitting in Rauma Finull. I think that's such a great yarn for mittens, especially colorwork mittens. This is 403 light grey marl. This is 4121 dark orange marled. And I'm knitting on US 1 2.25 millimeter needles, so very thin needles, but this actually goes by really fast. I really enjoy knitting colorwork mittens. I really experienced that last year when I was joining the mystery knit along from Vivian Aas on this beautiful Christmas mittens with a little house on. I don't know if you've been there before, maybe you remember them. And I think it's so much fun. I love to knit on this and see how the pattern just really grows. So I really want to do more, those beautiful songbird mittens. I don't remember the designer name, but they are beautiful, and there's a lot of fun colorwork mittens that I really would like to knit. So we'll see, maybe I will knit more in the future, but these are only it's a one size, a little what's it called again? Yeah, it's one size for a small lady's hand. Yeah, so excited to continue on this. This is the first mitten, and here is the for the thumb. So I just have yarn knitted, or a strand of yarn knitted in here, and I'm going to pick up for the thumb and knit that when I'm done with this one. Yeah, really like the cuff on this one as well. I think it's really cute. So this is going to be a nice mitten for someone for Christmas, I think. Yeah, that's that. And then I've cast on, of course, a new pair of socks, because I always want to have socks on the needles. So yesterday I picked a new note from my little jar full of sock patterns, and I picked the Julgubbe socks by Anniina Juuti. It's a really fun Christmas sock with Santas on the sock. Here it is. So I started this last night, and it was so much fun to knit on. I am using Drops Fabel 106 red. I'm using Sandnes Sisu 1012 cream. I'm using Filcolan Avetta in a light pink. I don't have a label for it because it's just a scrap. And also some black Filcolan Avetta for the eyes that I just did do with some duplicate stitching yesterday, because I wanted to see how it looked. You can also knit the eyes, of course, but I didn't bother to, because I think duplicate stitching goes by really fast to do when it's just for the eyes. So I'm knitting size number 3. I'm knitting on 2mm needles, US 0. And I of course I'm knitting with the wrong side out to try and not tighten my floats too much, but actually it's too tight. I tried to take it on yesterday and I can't get it over my heel. It's not a lot to, it's not too tight. But how do I say that in English? It's too tight. I don't get it over my heel, but it's not a lot. So yeah, but I have to rip back. I will try and take out my duplicate stitch and see if that's where I have tightened too much, because I used only one strand the entire way around. So maybe that's that's what's making it too tight. But if not, I have to rip back, because all the way down to the Santa's face, it's good. It's not tight at all, but it's where the Santa's face is that it's too tight. So yeah, and I really like these bubbles for the hat, pom-poms for the hat, and you just knit them when you do the sock, so it's nothing you sew on or anything. Like on the mittens I did at Christmas, you did some. No, I'm kidding. Some socks I did for Christmas from Vivian Aas as well. You had to do some French knots, but these you knit. So I really like that. So probably frog back a little bit, but it's no big deal. I'm just on the first sock, and I want to have it for my feet because they are so cute, and I'm making a Christmas sock box, so I will frog and do it again. But I don't have to frog all the way back, I think. Just maybe to the start of the face. So I will do that tonight, I think, because they were so much fun to knit on, so I'm excited to continue. The last thing I want to show you is one of my scrappy blankets. I am crocheting on a blanket and knitting on 2, all of them scrap blankets, but I want to show you the blanket that I'm knitting for my dog, Mocha. He's going to get a magic knot blanket, which just means that I'm taking all the small scraps I have of yarn and making using the magic knot to make a little ball of yarn. And these are all the leftover yarn I had from my advent calendar swap last year. And I have knitted quite a bit on this. I have put in a progress keeper so you can see how much I've knitted since the last time I showed it. So here is a little owl there, and I've knitted all of this. So it's a chevron blanket. It's the Lily's scrap blanket by Peck. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. Yeah, so it turns out really nice. I really love it. So colorful and fun. I am, of course, a little bit nervous about the magic knot that they will come loose, but I think that since this is just a blanket for my dog, it doesn't really matter, and I can patch it up if I need to sometimes. And yeah, of course, he needs a very colorful blanket. Yeah, so that's a lot of fun to knit on. So that's the last project I want to share with you today, I think. Yeah. Yesterday I took my car and I drove about 15 minutes to a very nice yarn shop that I really love called Hos Janne. It's a mother and a daughter who runs a really nice yarn and fabric store in an old barn, and it's very, very cute. So I got some gift cards for Christmas there, so I was excited to go and try and find some yarn for some plans that I have. I want to knit the Rosy Sweater by Lene Holme Samse, which is of course very popular still, and I am a little bit intimidated about casting it on because I've heard mixed reviews. Not that the pattern is bad or anything like that, but just that it's the color work, it's no rows that are the same, and I have to concentrate a lot, and yeah. But I really want to knit it, and I really like how it looks, so I'm excited to start on that. And I have this beautiful yarn that I also got for Christmas that I want to use in the roses. This is from a Norwegian hand dyer called Lille Rille. I don't know the color name of this because it doesn't say. It's really nice. So I got mohair to hold together with it yesterday, and I also got the main color. This is Sunday in the color 38 to 20 pearl gray, and I'm going to hold it together with this Sandnes thin silk mohair in the number 2321. I think this is the color that is called chalk. Yeah, so I hope that will be a nice rosy sweater. Excited to start that one. Don't know when, but it's hopefully not very far in the future. And then I got this green silk mohair because I have this green hand-dyed yarn from another Norwegian hand dyer who's called Stulenstrikk in the color Holly. He no longer dyes yarn, so a special skein. And I got this silk mohair to hold together with it in the color 7772. And these are going to be a shawl or a scarf from Anniina Juuti called Lotus Lake Scarf, I want to say. I might remember wrong, but I have knitted it before, and it's very beautiful with this beautiful lace on it. And I think this will be perfect, and it's going to be for me. I just bought myself a new jacket, and I really think this will be a very nice scarf or shawl for that jacket. And then I want to knit a stripe hype sweater by Kuto Akika. I know everyone has knitted it. Not everyone, but many people have knitted it, and I'm late to the party as always. But I don't care. I love it. And I did buy a lot of Filcolana Avetta last year for someone who was stashing a lot. And I looked at them, I thought, you need to be a stripe hype. Not sure which colors I'm going to choose. Did I bring everyone? I think maybe I'm missing someone. Here it was, another one. So I need 5 colors, I think, and I'm not sure which one I should choose. So if you have a preference, I would love to know. I really want to use these two. But then I also need some other colors together with them. I don't know which I should choose, or if I need to buy another color, but if you have a suggestion, I would love to know. So I'm going to hold it double, and I bought double Sunday for the main color in this cream 1012. Yeah, so a stripe hype, that would be fun. and excited to start that as well. That might come before the rosy, I'm not sure, just because it's so much fun with the stripes. But I have to figure out what color stripes I want. I also got some yarn for some hats. I want to do the Bainbridge beanie by Michelle Frazetta. So I bought this beautiful color, which I think is new. Another double Sunday. It's the 4353 Rustic Rose. Very beautiful color. I don't know if it's my color, but I really like it. And I'm going to knit a hat for my son. He requested, I will try and say this, Amorphous Shape-Shifting Jelly Monster hat by Akabeko Bhutan. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And I got this color. I hope it's the correct color. It's 6032 Blue Hortensia. I hope it's the right color. If not, I have to figure something out. But also double Sunday. So I have to cast this on pretty soon, I think, so he can wear it a little bit before the winter is over. So that's all of the plans and the yarn I bought. So I got some new yarn into my stash, but that's okay. I have plans for it and I'm excited to cast all of it on. So a lot of fun plans ahead. That's everything I have for you today. I hope that you found some inspiration and that this was not too chaotic. I got really a little bit frustrated when I had talked for 30 minutes and not even recorded any of it. So maybe this was a little bit all over the place, but I still hope that you had a nice time and that most importantly you got some knitting in and or some other craft that you enjoy. So I just want to say thank you so much if you are here still. Thank you for taking the time to watch my episode. You really mean a lot to me, and all of your beautiful comments and it really warms my heart to hear and see that people are enjoying my content. So thank you so much. If you're not already subscribed but you like to be here, I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. It really helps with the YouTube stuff and makes my episodes reach several new people, which I really like because I like to sit here and chat about my knitting. So take care of yourself and take care of the people around you. Knit on something fun. I hope I hope you're well and that you will have a good week ahead or weekend or whatever it is where you are. And I will talk to you guys again in a couple of weeks. Bye, my friends.